For centuries, uncovering the mechanics of life required intense physical labor. Biologists hunched over lab benches, relying on pipettes, petri dishes, and years of patient waiting to isolate a single variable. This chart visualizes the modern drug discovery pipeline, mapping the 10 to 15 years and billions of dollars required to bring a single new medication to market. While those years tick by in the lab, the human toll mounts. We lose precious time to millions of cancer deaths, mutating superbugs, and a rising crisis of antimicrobial resistance. We have access to massive volumes of genomic and proteomic data, yet it remains a dormant resource. Our current limitation is that we lack the human computational bandwidth to process it. The traditional, manual pipeline is structurally broken. Human researchers are mathematically incapable of analyzing this volume of biological complexity without machine intervention. That intervention relies on multimodal AI. This architecture converges diverse types of data, genomic sequences, clinical records, and medical imaging into a single system, moving the primary site of discovery from the microscope to the silicon chip. Technology companies recognize this bottleneck. OpenAI recently entered the pharmaceutical space with GPT-Rosalind, a reasoning model engineered specifically to compress the long-term drug development cycle. The model takes its name from English researcher Rosalind Franklin, whose work in the 1950s made it possible to understand the molecular structure of DNA and RNA. Franklin spent years refining a physical wireframe to represent a single molecule. Today, her digital namesake can simulate these same interactions in a fraction of a second. This tool is already active in the field. Major pharmaceutical companies like Moderna and Amgen are currently deploying GPT-Rosalind to analyze complex datasets and hunt for new drug targets. Biology has transitioned from a physical discipline of trial and error into a predictive, algorithmic science. This chart tracks $1.9 billion in venture capital poured into AI biotech startups. These investments turn into direct acquisitions as tech giants swallow biotech firms to secure pipelines, highlighted by Anthropic acquiring Coefficient Bio in a $400 million deal. These investments are driven by measurable outcomes. DeepMind's AlphaFold solved the decades-old protein folding problem, predicting three-dimensional structures with an accuracy that hit the 95th percentile of human experts. When paired with gene editing tools like CRISPR, the algorithms calculate and predict the exact genetic locus to target, allowing researchers to snip and replace disease-causing sequences with extreme precision. This is an active clinical reality. The FDA has cleared over 500 AI-powered imaging tools that can detect minute, early-stage tumors that human eyes frequently miss. The technology sector and the biology sector have permanently merged. The turning point is an established fact of modern medicine. This shift represents a transition from laboratory experimentation to digital medicine, a methodology that allows researchers to bypass the physical bottlenecks that slowed the COVID-19 response. It marks the arrival of BioIT as a dominant career frontier, where the primary location for biological discovery is the computer screen rather than the wet lab. As companies like Oracle lay off tens of thousands of employees in the traditional IT sector, those legacy tech engineers are rapidly flooding into the biotech space. AI algorithms are not going to entirely replace human biologists. The work still requires scientific direction and ethical oversight. The reality of the new job market is strictly competitive. Biologists who use AI will replace biologists who do not. Mastering the machine is now a requirement for survival in the field. As biology moves into the digital domain, those who master the algorithm will be the ones directing the next generation of medical breakthroughs.